I've found two things that have helped me be happier than I usually am. And today I'll be sharing them. The first one was slow movement. Before now, I would usually try a home workout app. I'll try to do push-ups, pull-ups, planks, endurance, and I found it difficult. I could not sustain it for more than 3 days. So this time around, when I started moving, I thought to myself, what kind of movement can I start that I could sustain for a really long time? I could come today, I will do it, come the next day again, the day after that, and the day after that, and the day, and the week, and the month after. How would I make movement something that I could feel like doing? And I almost fell into the trap of going back to my usual way of torturing myself, torturing myself with exercise, thinking it had to be really painful, I have to be sweating all over, my body has to be aching, then I was exercising. So what I did instead was I thought, what kind of ridiculously simple, tiny way could I move right now? Because usually I did not move. So any movement would be good. So what kind of ridiculous, tiny, simple way could I move right now that I could assure myself I'll come back again? And move just like that. And that's what I did. I moved in that ridiculously tiny way. and what happened was I moved. And because it was so short, so simple, so easy, I wanted to move more. But like I learned from a certain writer about writing, that you do not write to the exhaustion of your ideas. You write and then you stop while you are still going, while you still have ideas running in your head, so that the next time you start in front of the page, you'll be able to continue from where you stopped. What I used to do usually back then, before I heard of this advice, before I got this insight, was I would write, everything, every idea, every opportunity, everything that's busting in my head, I will write it down. And then when I came back the next day, I'll now sit empty. I'll start waiting for inspiration to hit. And anybody who's done anything creative knows inspiration comes at its own time. So I moved in this tiny way, and it felt so easy, so simple. I felt like doing it again right away to continue. But then I told myself, stop. We'll do it tomorrow. Because I was not trying to move excessively once and never again like I usually did. I was trying to move consecutively, continuously, progressively, sustainably. So anybody who also has this issue, maybe they have tried all this, maybe for you it was the gym, personally it was home workout apps for me. Maybe it was working out outside. Anything, maybe incredibly athletic in nature and you found it difficult, you found it hard, you thought to yourself, maybe I'm not just a moving kind, I don't move at all, exercise doesn't work for me. First thing I'll tell you is don't think about it as exercise. Then it sounds like a chore, like something huge. Think about it as moving. Nothing huge, nothing major, nothing groundbreaking. Just get up and do the littlest movement you can think of. And the best thing about it is you don't have to step outside. You don't have to be around people. You don't need people to see you. When I started my own movement, not that I'm not scrawny now, but I was very scrawny. I was very thin. I was very tiny. My hair was all scraggly. My hair still doesn't look good right now, and I also had a lot of issues about stepping outside. So that was another thing that kept me from moving. I thought I had to be out. I had to jog. I had to walk. I had to run. All these things are things you do outside where people are. So if you're someone who also has this issue with people seeing you, people knowing what you're up to, people, whispering and talking, oh, this person is moving like this person is. So the second one, after moving and actually enjoying movement for like the first time in my entire life, I was thinking I'm not athletic. Was creation. This YouTube channel. This video I'm making right now. The last video I made, the one I posted, where I talk about how to become miserable. I said towards the end that I had started miserable and I had ended miserable when I made the video. And that was true when I was still filming the video. But after I came back from that and then edited the video and then curated it and then put it out there, from the second I started looking at that video as a creation, not as consumption, not as just some splurge, as something for other people to use, something I could create, I could create myself. Everything changed. I felt lighter, I felt happier, and that day especially I was especially depressed, I was especially down. But somehow when I started editing the video, I felt better. Not in a busting through the seams kind of way. I just felt good. And not many things can make you feel that good about yourself. I mean, check it out even on your own. How many things will you do? Maybe I could eat, maybe I could watch a show, maybe I could watch a film, maybe I could play a game, maybe I could even have a discussion with somebody. But the feeling that I had from just merely setting down and deciding which parts of the video I would cut out, which parts I would show, which parts I would which parts would join with which parts, the whole editing process. I don't even started actually cutting them. I just setting it out. Okay, these are the parts I'll cut out. I felt good, and that goodness, that good feeling, took itself to the next day. How many of you have ever felt good? Whether it is from a series, a film, a show, a song, and that feeling, that good feeling, actually lasted longer than a few seconds, a few minutes, a couple hours. So not even reach the hour mark. I was just happy, just good, okay, and just being okay alone. I think most of the time that's what we're looking for. We're not We're not looking to have a smile from ear to ear. We're not looking to be laughing all the time. We're not looking for big, grand, beautiful experiences that just outlive us. Just to be okay. And that worked for me. So creation will usually not be talked about. Nobody will tell you to create anything. Like this for me personally is a huge cheat code. All you have to do is find out what is it that I like. What is it that I'm interested in? That is for you. What is it that you are interested in? What is it that you like? And just create within that zone. You don't need a huge sum of money. You don't need a lot of down payment. Just create within that zone. Anything tiny, anything small. Just one step, one thing, one stroke. One nail in the wall. Just anything towards that goal, within that interest, that idea, that love of yours. If you're a writer, you may say, let me write 5 lines. 5 lines doesn't sound like much, but it's something. If you're a singer, you could say, let me just hum a beat and record it and listen to it over and over. It doesn't sound like anything, but it's something. Or even if you're not these things, even if you're not a writer, you're not a singer, if you're interested in anything, tiny step you can take in it. Take that step. Okay, you say you want to be a director. Just shoot. Maybe just an empty fucking street. Shoot it. Maybe all you have is a phone. Shoot it with a phone. You don't have to be fucking Martin Scorsese before you can become a director. Maybe you have a whole other job that is very different from directing, not even remotely in the arts, but you're interested in it. Do one thing within that zone and come back and tell me how it is that it felt while you are doing it, creating within your interest. Sign off with that. Creating within your interest makes you feel far better. I don't mean busting through the seams better. I mean just okay, good. Like there's something inside of here. A lot of the times we don't hear any admonitions about it. They'll tell us maybe coffee, sex, drugs, all these things are touted as this is what people who want to feel good do. They drink, they fuck, they get high and all that. But for me, simply creating, doing something I found interesting, something I actually liked, that did it for me. So maybe you don't need drugs, you don't need alcohol, you don't need to fuck someone. Just sit down, ask yourself, what is it that I'm usually interested in? Don't ask yourself whether you're an expert at it. Just, are you interested? Do you like it? Does the idea get you a little bit fired up? Then create within it. So I've mentioned the 2 things, and there's actually a third one. The third one is not so much about happiness as it's about sense of assurance or trust in oneself. And I would say the thing that helped me in this one was aligning with my perception of myself. And what that brought about was respect for myself. So the thing that will help you, the thing that essentially will bring about this assurance, this trust in yourself is respect. And the thing that will bring that respect is aligning with the person that you want to be, or you hope to be, or you imagine yourself being, the kind of person that you would respect if you came across that person, aligning with that person. For me, all it took was just parting my hair a certain kind of way, combing it down, keeping it the way. Obviously, you can't see it now because this was days ago. But that was all it took. Before now, I was thinking, I'll dread my hair, I'll put on nice clothes, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll wear hats, blah blah blah, and I never did anything. But all this took me was just the items I already had in my room, put them to good use, made myself the way I wanted to be. And then I sat down in the mirror looking at myself and I was like, I respect you. And that just came from nowhere. And it was true. You don't have to do it. Maybe if you are thinking, okay, the kind of person that I would respect will be the kind of person who tells the people who he's usually afraid of, or who she's usually afraid of, who they are usually afraid of, what they actually think, without swallowing it down. Maybe you have somebody in your family, maybe an elder, or a parent or a sibling or whatever, and when they make a statement about something, you're usually against it, but you usually swallow it because who cares what I think, or something, whatever reason you have used to justify swallowing your own thoughts down. Now you think, oh well, I will respect this person who will just tell this sibling of mine what I actually feel. You don't have to maybe go up and become this really evocative person. I see all that I mean, and you just have to within yourself accept and recognize and acknowledge that you are usually against what they are standing up for. Do not deny it, because usually where it starts from is not from outside. You don't start swallowing it outside when it actually comes up. You start swallowing it inside. Just as it's coming up, you're like, no, it doesn't matter. When you find yourself doing that, no, it don't. Say yes, it does matter. I acknowledge this. Nobody is hearing it. Nobody knows. You know. And that is a shift, and you're going to sense it. And you're going to start respecting yourself more. So that when it actually comes to the time that you do need to be vocal, you do need to tell someone how you actually feel about something, because you have been telling yourself up to this time, because you have been acknowledging it within yourself, you'll be able to do it. So it doesn't have to be huge, it doesn't have to be major. It's just something that ties it all together. You're moving slowly, you're creating within your zones of interest, and now you're aligning with the person you want to be. Don't wait. Because that's the biggest thing. You wait. You think, maybe if I have more money, maybe if I have more education, maybe if I move away from here, maybe if I turn 30, if I turn 40, if I become a little bit older, if I grow my hair a little bit longer, if I start dressing a little bit better, if I get a promotion, if I have a bigger job, a better car, this, that, the other one, if I get married. No. All those things are just excuses. Because if you're not that person you want to be right now, in the tiniest step you can take towards that person, what assurance do you have that out of the blue, because now you're married, or now you have a car, or now you have a girlfriend, or you have a spouse, or you have more money because you got a raise, or you entered into a different profession and they pay they pay better in that one, then you decide, okay, now I'm going to become this person that I've been postponing becoming. So those are the three things. The first two have to do with feeling good, feeling better, a little less miserable than usual, and then the last one has to do with trusting yourself. Yeah, I'm safe in this person's hands. And these are the things that I found that helped me. And so this is the first episode. There will be more as I keep finding them out. I'll keep putting them on here so the people who do need to hear. So to me and all the others watching, here's to becoming a little less miserable.